Hello, this is Crystal Stanich, and thank you for joining me for this week's First Chapter Friday. Today I will be reading from the first chapter of Dolly Parton's Songteller, My Life in Lyrics. Hope you enjoy. Chapter 1, My Tennessee Mountain Home. Dolly Parton was born January 19th, 1946, in the Great Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee. This is a landscape of misty valleys, deep forests, bright meadows, lofty vistas, dark hollows, and abundant Appalachian flora and fauna. But in these scenic hills and vales are pockets of the worst rural poverty in America. Dolly Parton was raised in small, unheated shacks and cabins without indoor plumbing, electricity, or running water. The family lived with no telephone, automobile, television, or other modern convenience, except for a battery-powered radio. Rural electrification and paved roads did not come to the area until the 1950s. She is one of 12 children born to an unskilled, illiterate laborer and subsistence farmer and his wife in Sevier County. The Partons' clothes, food, and toys were homemade. So was their entertainment. Dolly began writing songs as a toddler. She started entertaining local audiences around age 8. At age 10, she began appearing on radio and TV in Knoxville. She launched her recording career at 13, which is also when she made her pilgrimage to Nashville to appear on the Grand Ole Opry. Dolly composed her first song when she was around age 6. It was an ode to her corncob doll with corn silk hair. Her mother, A.B. Lee Owens Parton, wrote its lyrics down for her. A.B. Lee saved dozens of songs Dolly wrote as a child. One of them, Life Doesn't Mean That Much to Me, has a strikingly adult lyric mourning a fallen soldier. Dolly's highly musical mother not only encouraged Dolly to pursue songwriting, but also influenced her daughter's singing style. Ever since I was a small child, I've always had the gift to rhyme. So I was making up songs before I could even write. I could rhyme everything, whether it was whatever was on the table, what was on the floor, what the kids were doing. I grew up in a very musical family, especially on my mother's side. So it was just natural for my mom to always be singing. My mother had that old-timey voice, and she used to sing all these songs that were brought over from the old world. They were English, Irish, Welsh folk songs, where people tell stories. Mama had this haunting voice, and Lord, you would feel it. There's a famous old folk song called Two Little Orphans, about two little kids who come up to the door and are frozen to death because nobody's answering. Mama would emphasize those moments in the lyrics when the two little orphans are talking. It was really like being there if Mama was singing it. That's how I try to sing too. I want you to feel it when I'm telling you the story. Mama singing all those old-timey mountain songs was just embedded in my soul, in my psyche. I call it my Smoky Mountain DNA. Early on, I would listen to all of those songs and all of those stories. I started to write songs, I guess, because I picked up so many things. My first song was called Little Tiny Tassel Top. It was about a corncob doll that my mama had made me and put a little dress on and put corn silk tassels on for her hair. Dad made eyes with the fire poker from the fireplace, but I loved that little doll. I expressed myself and my feelings through writing. I'm sure what I was thinking was, Well, Tasseltop has to have a song about her. So I wrote Little Tiny Tasseltop. You're the only friend I got. Big brown eyes and curn silk hair. How you make me smile. You know, whatever feelings I was experiencing about that doll, Mama wrote that down. Because Mama would encourage me. She said, "That's really good." I must have been 5 or 6 when I wrote Little Tiny Tasseltoff. We found it years later in a shoebox. Mama kept a lot of stuff I wrote that I don't even remember. Later on, when I started playing guitar and writing more serious songs at age 7, whenever somebody would come around, Mama would say, "I want you to hear the song this little thing has made up. It's really good." And that just made me want to get more attention. Because there were so many of us. Any special attention was good. So I learned early on to get attention through my songwriting. Because Mama was very encouraging. And that is the end of chapter 1 of Dolly Parton's Songteller. If you would like to know more, this title is available on Hoopla, so just go ahead and download that on your Hoopla app. Next week, we will begin our Irish-themed stories. So we will start that with Carleen O'Connor's Murder in an Irish Village. See you then, and have a fantastic weekend.